With just 3 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
Melero is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
It's a lovely day for racing here at Pascani Motor Park A as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Melero has a best lap time of 1:58. Simon just posted a 1:59.490 crossing start finish.
There is always more time to be found, but Simon is not guaranteed to find it.
Melero posted 1:58.656 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
Kevin Lekmansky has a best lap time of 1:57.412.
Lekmansky is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 1:59.490. Adam is getting to grips with the ASRL Veloce GTS-8 in this practice session. David just posted a 7:56.730 crossing start finish.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
With just 3 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
There is always more time to be found, but Lech Mansky is not guaranteed to find it.
Asadik Streaming is on his practice out lap. The engines are revving up and the drivers are ready to hit the gas pedal for this qualifying session at Pascani Motor Park A. This is where the mental game comes into play. David Zahn is taking his time to prepare for his qualifying run.
Patience is key in these early moments, Marco. But I have a feeling David is going to make it count.
It's all about strategy in these early moments. Melero is taking his time to prepare for his qualifying run and get everything just right. You can feel the tension building. Simon of the Desert is out on track and getting ready to push for his qualifying time. As Simon of the Desert completes the outlap, he will be hoping there's enough space on track to fully attack on the flying lap. The adrenaline is pumping. Melero is on his outlap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time.
It's a delicate balance between taking it easy and pushing hard. Let's see how Melero handles it.
Adam is on his outlap.
This is the moment he's been preparing for. Let's see if he can execute.
There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. It's clear that Steady crosses the start-finish line at the end of his outlap. It's all about precision and speed in qualifying, and Kevin Lekmansky is nailing both.
Lekmansky is indeed a rare breed. It takes a special kind of driver to thrive under this kind of pressure.
Kevin Lekmansky has just completed that lap in 1:56.250, which is 1.09 off the best time, putting him in P2. The pressure is on in this qualifying session, but Simon of the Desert is rising to the occasion.
Let's see if he can put a good marker down.
Simon of the Desert is now up 0.22. Adam is currently on provisional pole, with a time of 1:54.358.
That's a great time, but it's always a good idea to keeping pushing for every last tenth and hundredth.
Simon of the Desert is in the green by 0.96. Simon of the Desert will be happy, with a time good enough for fourth in this qualifying session. Adam has found an extra 0.32. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Kevin Lekmansky will be happy, with a time good enough for third in this qualifying session. Adam is currently on provisional pole, with a time of 1:54.061. Kevin Lekmansky is up 0.16. Simon of the Desert will be happy, with a time good enough for fourth in this qualifying session. Kevin Lekmansky does not look to be improving on this lap. Janet, any thoughts on ways to improve?
Well, Marco, he'll need to find those extra tenths of a second by pushing just a little bit harder on the braking and carrying more speed through the corners.
Adam is in the green by 0.11. Kevin Legmansky will be happy, with a time good enough for third in this qualifying session. A solid performance from David Zahn, currently holding down P6. However, with the session coming to a close, he'll need to find that extra. David Zahn has some work to do, as his best time of 1:58.493 is only good enough for 6th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure he will keep working on that 4.432 gap to pole.
It's an impressive showing by Kevin Legmansky, currently in third. He's showcased his talent, but will need to find those crucial extra tenths to climb higher.
I couldn't agree more, Marco. Legmansky has done a fantastic job to claim third. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
Kevin Legmansky will be happy, with a time good enough for second in this qualifying session. David Zahn has put in a great effort and currently holds 6th. With the session winding down, time is running out to unleash his full potential for a better starting position.
Couldn't agree more, Marco. David is positioned impressively in 6th. Now, he'll need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
David Zahn has some work to do, as his best time of 1:58.493 is only good enough for 6th.
There's at least 4.432 seconds to be found, but Zahn may be looking for it in the wrong places.
You've joined us on a breezy day here at Pascani Motor Park A, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The tension's building now. This is going to be another great race.
Adam is starting this race on pole.
He can't afford to get complacent. He will have a target on his back now.
Kevin Lekmansky has a great opportunity starting on the front row.
He will have to be smart about his moves. He must not burn out too early.
In the third position, it's none other than Sketty.
Sketty will be expecting to bring home solid points.
Simon of the Desert will look to make a splash from the fourth position on the starting grid.
Simon will be ready to show what he's made of.
Taking the fifth spot is Melero.
Melero is hoping for a strong result.
Sitting in sixth, it's David Zahn.
Putting that ASRL Veloce GTS-8 into prime position for the race.
Green flag, green flag.
Precision is everything during these initial stages. One wrong move could cost them valuable time or even force them out of the race.
I think passing is going to be difficult today here at Pascani Motor Park A, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers get on.
I'd love to be on track burning some rubber here, Marco.
The racing is normally closely fought here at Pascani Motor Park A. I think we are in for a cracking race. As we watch the drivers fight it out in the first lap, I can already feel that this is going to be an epic race.
The drivers are walking a fine line during the first lap melee as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it.
With this motley bunch of drivers, there is bound to be drama. I just hope we don't miss it.
Having started in P3, Sketty will be hoping for a good result in this race. Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here.
It all comes down to this, Marco, where the rubber meets the road. There's no more time for talk, no more practice. The teams have done all they can. Now it comes down to Kevin to bring it home.
It's certainly not going to plan for Kevin Lekmansky right now, who is struggling to keep up with Sketty.
This is a frustrating situation for Lekmansky, but he can't give up just yet. He'll need to keep pushing and hope for a mistake from Sketty.
The pressure is on as Melero works on catching up to Kevin Lekmansky. It looks like Melero is making a move. The gap to Kevin Lekmansky is now down to 0.4 seconds.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
The pursuit is on. Kevin Lekmansky is closing the gap on Sketty, determined to claim P2. Tough breaking news, folks. Disappointing for Kevin Lekmansky, falling down the order to 5th. The pressure is really on for Simon of the Desert in 3rd as Melero is closing in. This is where experience and skill really count. Impressive stuff from Simon of the Desert, who has managed to pull away from Melero, leaving him in choking in his exhaust fumes. Look at that. Kevin Lekmansky is hot. Breaking news, folks. A great pass for Kevin Lekmansky, swapping places with Melero to move up the field. Things don't seem to be going Sketty's way in this race, as that's a big gap he'll have to close to even hold up, breaking info. That won't be ideal for Kevin Lekmansky.
Pascani Motor Park A is always a test for these drivers, and sometimes that's the way it goes.
Melero is trying his best to catch Kevin Lekmansky.
Melero is looking to close the 0.6 second gap and make a pass.
It's game on now. Melero has closed the gap to Kevin Lekmansky. It's now down to 0.3 seconds.
This is what racing is all about, hard-fought battles with as much determination as respect, between friends and enemies alike.
The gap between Adam and Sketty is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Adam to even allow Sketty to get a look in.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Sketty is going to have to get more serious with practice to not get outclassed on the circuit.
Good news for Sketty, the gap to Adam has decreased. It's now down to 1.0 seconds. Simon of the Desert is placed 3rd at the moment. He can't hold on. Simon of the Desert is losing time to Kevin Lekmansky. Hey, Janet, you've had your fair share of races with little action. How did you handle the situation back in your racing days?
Well, Marco, patience is key in such scenarios. You need to stay focused and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes your way. It's like a game of chess at 200 miles per hour.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Simon of the Desert, who is currently in P3. Things are going according to plan for Adam, who is currently 1st.
Definitely Marco, but Adam can't afford to get complacent. This race is going to require focus and intensity.
A commanding performance from Adam, who has increased his lead over Sketty, putting him firmly in his rear-view mirrors. David Zahn is pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap to Melero. There's 7 minutes left in this session to make that happen.
Indeed, the anticipation is high as David tries to reel in Melero.
It looks like we might get a battle between David Zahn and Melero. David Zahn is trying to catch up to Melero. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
We know Melero isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Dave is going to have to take it.
It's all about consistency for Melero, who is currently 5th. Oh, Janet, Melero has seen his lead over David Zahn shrink to 3.0 seconds.
That's a worrying sign for Melero.
The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Sketty needs to find a way to close the gap.
Absolutely. Sketty in second will need to be patient and work carefully to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as he can't afford to take unnecessary risks and that might lead to an off or damaging their car.
Sketty is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Adam to 2.7 seconds.
Exactly what Sketty needed. He can't afford to lose any more ground to Adam.
If everything goes as planned, this is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing is all about.
It's looking good for Adam, sitting in first. Things are starting to get tense as Sketty manages to close the gap to Adam. It's now down to 3.1 seconds. You can feel the tension in the air.
The drivers are all focused, putting everything on the line for a chance at victory, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit.
And let's not forget about the incredible machines themselves.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about the kind of engineering and innovation that goes into making these vehicles. But it all comes down to the drivers, who have to be able to handle the power and speed. It's going to be thrilling seeing how this race turns out.
Sketty has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Adam. I expect his only hope at this point is that Adam makes an error. I don't think that's the fastest way around Pascani Motor Park, eh?
Did the wind contribute to that? It's blowing at 10 kph out there right now.
Every move counts now as Melero works to reel in David Zahn and overtake for P5. It looks like Kevin Lekmansky is pushing hard to catch up to Simon of the Desert. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving.
Melero is in the flow, putting in his best lap so far. Melero wants to close that gap with David Zahn.
And Melero is poised to capitalize on any mistake. It's just a matter of who cracks first.
Sketty is pushing to maintain the lead. while Simon of the Desert is working to close in and challenge for the position.
This is where experience comes into play. Sketty has been in this situation before and knows how to defend for position, but Simon is hungry for success and won't give up easily.
It looks like Simon of the Desert is making a move. The gap to Sketty is now down to 6.3 seconds.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. A driver that stays calm and focused is more likely to come out on top.
Oh, this is getting intense. Melero is just a few car lengths behind David Zahn. The gap between Melero and David Zahn is widening. It's now up to 0.5 seconds.
This is not ideal for Melero, but there's still time to turn this around. He'll need to focus and not let that gap get any bigger.
Look at the way the drivers are hugging those corners. It's like they're on rails.
Speaking of rails, did you know that the first racetrack was built on a railway in 1896? I bet those drivers were chugging along.
All joking aside, I bet they were. Things have come a long way since then, haven't they?
Definitely. It's amazing to think about the technology that goes into these cars now. I mean, they have more computing power than some countries.
The battle for P5 is heating up as Melero tries to catch David Zahn in P5.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Melero should use slipstreaming to his advantage and close the gap to Zahn.
Well, it doesn't look like Sketty is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Adam.
Sketty certainly isn't going to be close enough to mount any kind of challenge soon unless it's down to a mistake from Adam.
Rising to the occasion and claiming victory would help to cement Melero's legendary status. Hold on a moment. Talk about being caught in the middle. Melero is sandwiched between some fierce competitors. Myers 0.1 seconds behind and Zahn 0.1 seconds ahead. The battle for position is on.
I'm on the same page, Marco. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind provide valuable context to understand the challenges faced by Melero. It's a constant juggling act, and he'll need to seize the right moment to gain an advantage.
It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Kevin Lekmansky as there is a big gap ahead.
It's not over until the checkered flag drops, and it's important to maintain concentration until you've made it to the finish line.
It's not looking good for Kevin Lekmansky, who is still behind Simon of the Desert, and the gap is increasing. The race is really heating up. David Zahn is hunting down Melero with everything he's got. The gap between David Zahn and Melero is growing. It's now up to 1.0 seconds.
It's not over yet, but Zahn needs to get a move on if they want to catch up to Melero.
We often hear drivers complaining about tire graining. Janet, can you explain what that means and how it affects car handling?
Graining occurs when small rubber particles roll up on the tire's surface, reducing grip and negatively affecting handling. It usually happens when the tires are not in their optimal temperature window or when a driver is pushing too hard on a cold or overworked tire.
Things don't seem to be going David Zahn's way in this race, as that's a big gap he'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here. The race is heating up as Sketty in second closes in on Adam.
It's going to be tough for Sketty, as Adam seems to have found his rhythm.
It's not going to plan for Sketty, who is trailing behind Adam, and the gap is widening. He may not have an answer for this right now. Janet, How do racing drivers like yourself train to maintain concentration for long periods of time?
Mental training is a huge part of a driver's preparation, Marco. Techniques like meditation.
Braking development. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. David Zahn will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. This is where the race gets really interesting. Simon of the Desert is closing in on Sketty.
It's a game of strategy now as Simon hunts down Sketty. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
It seems like Simon of the Desert has got the bid between his teeth, improving on Sketty's lap time there.
As long as Simon can maintain that consistency and pace, it will be interesting to see.
Hold up, breaking info. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Simon of the Desert gaining places and Sketty losing them. David Zahn is staying focused while chasing Melero in P5. These drivers are battling hard for this position, each one trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
And it's not just about skill and talent. It's about who has the nerves of...
Hold that thought. Looks like that's a mistake from David Zahn. This could be costly. Simon of the Desert is running third, and trying to catch Sketty.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Simon needs to stay patient and wait for Sketty to make a mistake.
Simon of the Desert could be on a charge here, Janet. He's just put in a quicker lap than Sketty.
We will have to see if Sketty has got any answers for that.
A strong showing from Adam, who is currently first. The pressure is on as Simon of the Desert tries to catch up to Sketty.
The mental game is just as important here. Simon must keep his cool while putting pressure on Sketty.
Simon of the Desert is trying his best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Sketty at the moment.
This is a tough situation for Simon. He'll need to find a way to pick up some speed and close that gap.
Heartbreak for Simon of the Desert, as they slip down the field. A solid performance from Simon of the Desert, who is holding down fourth. The gap between Simon of the Desert and Kevin Lekmansky is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Simon to even allow Kevin to get a look in.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Lekmansky is going to have to get more serious with practice to not get outclassed on the circuit.
It's game on now. Kevin Lekmansky has closed the gap to Simon of the Desert. It's now down to 1.8 seconds.
He'll be looking for a mistake to pounce on.
Things are going according to plan for Adam, who is currently second. Superb driving from Adam, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
That's what we like to see. Adam is really showing his class today.
It's all about consistency for Simon of the Desert, who is currently third.
Yes, but Simon has to keep his focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
Simon of the Desert needs to find some speed, or maybe get more consistent. Janet, he's just put in a slower lap than Kevin Lekmansky.
Hopefully Simon can find some of that missing time and get it back.
It's looking good for Adam, sitting in first. Some great driving from Adam, who has increased his lead over Sketty and is starting to put some distance between them. On the final lap now, and Adam might just wrap up this win.
That's an impressive burst of speed. It's all but said and done now.
And there it is. Adam has completed the race in first place, setting a blistering pace that none of the other drivers could match. Some might say that second place is the first loser, but Sketty certainly doesn't see it that way. He put in a phenomenal effort and should be proud of his podium finish. Excellent focus from Simon of the Desert to secure a fantastic third place on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Finishing fourth is Kevin Lekmansky. Coming in fifth, we have Melero. It's a very still day here at Pascani Motor Park A, as we're getting ready to kick things off. Melero will have the best seat in the house starting from pole position.
It's also a nightmare if he can't hold onto it. Let's see how he will handle the pressure.
Kevin Lekmansky is starting this race on the front row.
He will have to keep his foot on the gas in order to stay at the sharp end of the grid.
Simon of the Desert is holding down the Ford in third place.
A strong grid position, and he'll be expecting a solid result today.
Sketty lines up in fourth place as the engines rev and the race begins.
It's not always easy to get the ASRL Veloce GTS-8 this high up the starting grid.
The fifth position belongs to Adam.
It's like he's on the outside looking in, close enough to see the front without actually being there.
Lining up in sixth is David Zahn.
Like many others, Zahn is starting the race on the Hyper's tire compound.
The lights are out and it's go time.
The drivers will need to be aggressive but also patient. They can't afford to make any mistakes if they want to stay in the running for a podium finish.
It's a delicate balance, Janet, but the best drivers know how to push the limits and make it work to their advantage.
It's never easy to drive that razor's edge between perfection and disaster.
The tensions are high, and no one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap.
What a beautiful day for racing here at Pascani Motor Park A. This is going to be good to watch.
Adam will be studying the nearby drivers and looking for anything that could give them an advantage. The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this work. Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position? There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is feeling out the drivers around them.
It's always intense racing here at Pascani Motor Park A. Hold on to your hats, folks.
As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at ASRL for making this all possible. Heroes one and all.
Every corner, every lap, and every race is a chance for these drivers to hone their abilities and improve their skills.
It's a game of inches now as Kevin Lekmanski tails Melero closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
If Kevin pushes too hard, he might end up taking the scenic route, and nobody's got.
Hold that thought. A setback for Kevin Lekmanski, who has just been passed. Oh dear, Kevin Lekmanski has dropped down to 6th. Hold the phone. Safety car is still leading the field after several laps.
This is really putting the drivers to the test, having to stay focused and ready to pounce at a moment's notice.
It can be tough to keep your adrenaline pumping when you're driving at slower speeds, but they can't afford to lose their concentration.
It's also a challenge for the teams. They have to keep their drivers calm and focused despite the frustration of being stuck behind the safety car.
And we're back, where the drivers are showing us some incredible skills.
Indeed, Marco, it's always exciting to see these skilled drivers operating such fantastic machines on amazing tracks.
The safety car has been called.
It can be frustrating for anyone who was in a
Breaking news, folks. Rev your engines, folks. We're back to full throttle racing. This one's going to be tough. Adam is getting his elbows out, and there may not be enough time left for David Zahn to make a move.
Surely he's got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
You can feel the intensity in the air. The slightest mistake could cost either of them valuable time and the position.
Kevin Lekmanski is holding 5th, but Sketty is right on his tail.
It's not over yet. Sketty is right on Lekmanski's tail, and if he can find just a little bit of extra speed, he might be able to make a move.
Things are heating up as Sketty tries to close the gap to Kevin Lekmanski.
Sketty needs to focus to have a chance at getting past Kevin.
The intensity is off the charts as Melero hounds David Zahn, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. This is getting exciting. Sketty is looking for any gap that might open up the position. It looks like Melero is in control. He's ahead of Kevin Lekmanski by over a second, and it doesn't look like he's going to be challenged anytime soon. Kevin Lekmanski wants to get into Melero's slipstream.
There is no room for error in this battle.
Sketty is giving it his all, chasing down Kevin Lekmanski in P5. A great moment for Sketty, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Looks like Adam is really hitting those curves aggressively, which can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. Adam is really pushing the limits. He's riding the curbs and hustling that ASRL Veloce GTS-8 like a boss.
David Zahn is placed. Hold on a moment. A tough moment for David Zahn, who has just lost a place, now in 4th.
Yes, but there's still plenty of race left. Zahn needs to stay calm and focused, and make his move when the time is right.
Adam is on a mission, chasing Simon of the Desert, who's currently got a comfortable lead. Sketty is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. It's certainly not going to plan for Sketty right now, who is struggling to keep up with Kevin Lekmanski.
He needs to pick up the pace for sure, but that's not always a real possibility.
Well, it doesn't look like Adam is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Simon of the Desert.
Anything can happen yet, and it usually does. I've certainly seen drivers come back from worse.
Every move counts now as Sketty works to reel in Kevin Lekmansky and overtake for P3.
With just 0.3 seconds between them, Sketty will need to close the gap to have hopes of a pass.
The gap between Sketty and Kevin Lekmansky is widening. It's now up to 0.4 seconds.
This is where the mental toughness of Sketty comes into play. He'll need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when things aren't going his way.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Adam is chasing Simon of the Desert in P1. Look at that. Sketty is hot on the tail of Kevin Lekmansky.
This is where every inch counts. Sketty is pushing hard to close the gap on Kevin. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
The pursuit is on. Adam is closing the gap on Simon of the Desert, determined to claim P1. Sketty is on a mission, chasing Kevin Lekmansky, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving.
Sketty is running forward and trying to catch Kevin Lekmansky. The pressure is on as Adam tries to catch up to Simon of the Desert. The race is really heating up. Sketty is hunting down Kevin Lekmansky with everything he's got.
You can see that car bouncing around as it rides the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
Things are heating up as Adam tries to close the gap to Simon of the Desert. Good news for Adam. The gap to Simon of the Desert has decreased. It's now down to 0.4 seconds.
That's a great effort from Adam. He'll need to keep up the pressure and see if he can make a move.
Even though Kevin Lekmansky is a fair way behind Sketty, he can't afford to let his guard down. Sketty is still vulnerable to mistakes. Adam wants to find a way round Simon of the Desert.
For sure, Marco, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Simon is going to be aware of him riding his bumper.
The drivers are getting faster as they settle into their cars and get used to the conditions, with Adam just putting in his best lap so far with a 1 minute. This is a thrilling battle as Kevin Lekmansky edges closer to Sketty in their fight for P3.
I would not be surprised to see him get this pass completed soon.
Oh, this is getting intense. Adam is just a few car lengths behind Simon of the Desert. It's not looking good for Adam, who is still behind Simon of the Desert, and the gap is increasing.
Adam needs to focus and keep pushing, even when things aren't going his way. If he can close the gap down, he may be able to bring the fight to Simon.
You know, Janet, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Marco, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
Melero has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Kevin Lekmansky. I expect his only hope at this point is that Kevin makes an error. Melero has just put in a faster lap than Kevin Lekmansky, so that's going to give him something to worry about. You know, Janet, it's been a relatively quiet race so far.
That's right, Marco. The drivers seem to be pacing themselves and waiting for the right moment to make their move. It's like watching a slow dance.
It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Kevin Lekmansky as there is a big gap ahead.
Lekmansky certainly isn't going to be close enough to mount any kind of challenge soon unless it's down to a mistake from Sketty.
The gap between Kevin Lekmansky and Sketty is growing. It's now up to 1.3 seconds.
This is a frustrating situation for Lekmansky, but he can't give up just yet. He'll need to keep pushing and hope for a mistake from Sketty.
It's a brilliant day for racing here at Pascani Motor Park A. I'm really enjoying this.
This race is truly epic. What a treat to be sat here witnessing this spectacle.
A solid performance from Kevin Lekmansky, who is holding down fourth.
That's right. Lekmansky can't afford to make any mistakes or let up. Every point counts in this championship.
The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Adam in second chases after Simon of the Desert. It looks like we might get a battle between Adam and Simon of the Desert.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
Things are going according to plan for Simon of the Desert, who is currently first. It seems like Simon of the Desert has got the bit between his teeth, improving on Adam's lap time there.
The question now is, can Adam respond to that and pick up the pace? I'm not so sure.
Let's talk about tire degradation. Janet, how does it affect the car's handling and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions?
Tire degradation can significantly impact handling, Marco. As the tires wear, the grip reduces, and drivers need to adjust their braking points, cornering speeds, and throttle application to maintain control of the car.
Things don't seem to be going Kevin Lekmansky's way in this race, as that's a big gap he'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here. It's not going to plan for Kevin Lekmansky, who is trailing behind Sketty and the gap is widening. He may not have an answer for this right now. As a former driver, Janet, how did you manage the physical demands of racing?
It's all about preparation, Marco. Drivers undergo rigorous fitness training to build their strength, stamina, and flexibility. A proper diet and hydration plan is also essential to ensure peak performance on race day.
Well, it doesn't look like Melero is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Kevin Lekmansky. Melero is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Kevin Lekmansky to 0.6 seconds. We've certainly seen some of the drivers get it wrong today.
Anyone lost can just follow the trail of skid marks. I hear it's the latest form of GPS navigation.
Let's hope the other drivers don't follow suit. We might end up with a bumper car race instead of a high-speed competition.
At least we'd have something to fall back on if we ever get bored of regular racing. Bumper cars might be the next big thing.
It's all about consistency for Kevin Lekmansky, who is currently fourth.
Definitely, but he can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers gunning for that position, and Lekmansky has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
The gap between Kevin Lekmansky and Melero is getting smaller. It's now down to 0.6 seconds.
He'll need to step up his game and start pulling away again.
The battle for P4 is heating up as Melero tries to catch Kevin Lekmansky in P4. It looks like Melero is making a move. The gap to Kevin Lekmansky is now down to 0.4 seconds. Melero is pushing. Hold up. Breaking info. Oh dear, Kevin Lekmansky has had an incident.
It's a real shame. Until this point in the race he'd been looking at a decent result.
A strong showing from Simon of the Desert, who is currently first. They're going side by side, door handle to door handle. This is as close as it gets, folks. I would not be surprised if these drivers swap positions a few times before the order gets ultimately decided.
You're absolutely right, Marco. The level of respect these drivers have for each other while pushing their limits is commendable. It's a testament to their professionalism and love for the sport.
Looking at the lap times, Melero is not currently on pace with Sketty. Maybe he'll get a chance to see where to make up some time. We are used to seeing some hard-fought but clean racing here at ASRL. I'm expecting to see nothing different here today as this race unfolds. The delta between Adam in second and Simon of the Desert remains over a second, but Adam is not letting up. It's looking good for Simon of the Desert, sitting in first. Oh no, Janet, look at this. Adam is closing in on Simon of the Desert. The gap is now just 3.9 seconds.
This is a critical moment in the race for Simon. He'll need to find some extra speed and stay ahead of Adam.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Melero trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Sketty. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts.
Anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Melero pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if he can do it again.
Stop the press. I don't think that's the fastest way around Pascani Motor Park, eh?
Dave is not going to be happy about that.
The tension is building as David Zahn trails behind Melero. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Simon of the Desert is placed first at the moment. It looks like Adam is starting to catch up to Simon of the Desert. The gap is now down to 4.4 seconds. I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride, and I for one look forward to future advancements in AI technology.
Apparently we are going to be announcing crashes and incidents soon. Let's hope they get the logic right. A solid performance from Simon of the Desert, who is holding down first. Things are going according to plan for Sketty, who is currently third.
Definitely Marco, but Sketty can't afford to get complacent. This race is going to require focus and intensity.
Impressive driving from Sketty, who has managed to extend his lead over Melero. It looks like Melero will have to regroup and try to make up that lost ground. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Melero, who is currently in P4. Melero is trying his best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Sketty at the moment. Melero has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Sketty. I expect his only hope at this point is that Sketty makes an error. It's all about consistency for Sketty, who is currently third. He can't hold on. Sketty is losing time to Melero.
Can Sketty keep Melero behind? Let's see.
It's like Simon of the Desert has saved all his energy for this final stretch.
He'll be the one celebrating at the finish line.
And that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from Simon of the Desert. A nail-biting finish, but Adam claims second place.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
Impressive drive from Sketty to claim the final spot on the podium. Fourth is Melero. Taking fifth is David Zahn.